Welcome back.
Welcome back to fucking Memory Leak.
Welcome back, babies and criers.
Babies, criers, diaper fillers,
Squeezers.
fucking
Squelchers.
Don't say squelchers. Okay. Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Benjamin Tifa Benjamin.
All right. And my name is Geron Zack Snyder Geron. And sorry. Very specific apology to anyone who didn't want me to say the Snyder part at the end, but
What? Why is that offensive?
Zack Snyder?
The director?
Because Zack Fair is funny character, but Zack Snyder made...
Our names don't have to be related.
They are related. Yeah. Nah, they're related today. It's fine.
I want to see the Zack Snyder cut of Final Fantasy VII
I
Rebirth.
do too. And it's a 4x3.
4x3, black and white.
Yeah, color grading is all fucked. Is that my phone? Oh, it is. Hold on. I just got a message. It's a GIF. Hold on. I'm probably going to laugh really hard, actually.
Who's this from?
I think this is... All right, don't worry about it.
Don't put that there.
Don't put what?
Because the buzz. Actually,
This makes the buzz? Oh, fuck. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to throw this across the room. Keep this all in. We're good.
We're Memory Leak.
Yeah, this is Memory Leak. We talk about video games, and sometimes we talk about a little bit more.
But a humble podcast.
Yeah, just a couple of viewers, couple of hours.
For all those gamers out there, or game aficionados.
Yeah, our motto is KAG.
CAG.
It's up to you to figure out what it means.
The first word may or may not be kiss.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about today? We didn't have a topic.
No, there hasn't been a whole lot, to be honest. I mean, they had the what was it? Was it CES? No, it wasn't CES. Game Developers Conference.
It was GDC.
GDC.
Yeah. Which
knew there was a C in there.
There's some cool stuff like the Tears of the Kingdom. Fucking the way the sound works. I was
that one was going around social media.
Absolute fuck.
I did see the slides that were like, here's what Zelda has done so well over the years with music. And everyone's like, all right, we get it. You're good at games.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, the voxel, using voxels to figure out what the sounds are supposed to be for each
What's
area.
a voxel for those listening?
The voxel is like a...
Not for me, because I know.
Well, yeah. It's hard for me to even explain. It's like a 3D pixel representation of space kind of thing. Objects can be filled with it, or it could just...
Like a point?
It kind of, yeah. They're usually represented with like cubes.
Oh, okay.
But think of it like a box that think of it like a pixel that you see on a flat screen, but instead of being on a flat screen, it's a cube that exists in 3D space that represents information, like color information, or in this case, it's sound information.
Is it also used for light sources?
It can be used for a lot of different shit. Yeah,
okay.
Light source is anything. It's
just a blanket.
It's just a vessel
thing.
It's a vessel for information, and it fills a vox. Fuck yeah.
Well, is that why it's called voxels? Because it's like pixel, but
yeah, I think so.
Vox, whatever vox is.
Yeah, voxel. No. But yeah, that's cool. You should look that up on your own. I'm not about to explain it right now because I'm not Nintendo.
I'm just happy anytime that Nintendo gets to flaunt how impressive Tears of the Kingdom is, because I do get kind of miffed when people are just like, oh, it's boring because I already played Breath of the Wild.
Like, oh wait,
that complaint really irritates me specifically.
Yeah,
I get it. If you're in for like the world exploration, that's like your primary thing. If you're the explorative archetype of gamer,
yeah,
sure. But like, there's more to offer.
And then there's a lot to that fucking. They put caves everywhere. Come on, but it was whatever. It's your opinion, whatever it is, bitch. No, I'm kidding. So that was cool. What else?
They announced F-Zero Maximum Velocity.
F-Zero Maximum Velocity coming out on the NSO Game Boy Advance app. That game is fine. It's got some real fucked up track design. And,
like bad?
And like
hard?
It's like none of the vehicles are designed for the tracks they made. It's out. The game
is that?
The game's outsourced, and it was made for a GBA launch, which I'm surprised. Which is why I'm surprised it didn't come out immediately on the app. But cool. I can finally play it in 4 players online if I can round up 4 people.
Wasn't there another Game Boy Advance game? It has 4-player?
That game had 4-player, yeah.
Oh, with link cable?
With the 3 link cables, yeah. You
had to spider web them.
Yeah, exactly. But now I don't need to do that shit.
I mean, you could though.
I could. I think I have 1 link cable, so I'd have to go buy 2.
I've got 1.
Okay, so we'd have to buy 1.
There you
then
go.
I already have 3 Game Boy Advances. Maybe no, I've
got an analog pocket. It's all right.
Okay. I have a Game Boy player too, so yeah, plenty of Game Boy Advance systems. But stupid. Game is game's all right. The game's okay.
How does it rank with the other? Is there one other F-Zero GBA game or
there's
2?
2.
Yeah, there's 3 total, right?
So all 3 of the GBA F-Zero games are kind of like Climax is based on the TV show. GP Legend was the name. No. Now F-Zero GP Legend is the other one we got in the US. It's aight. It's got a story mode. It's got anime artwork in it. It has some more F-Zero X mechanics in the Super Nintendo style, which is cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then there's Climax, which we did not get. And that game's
Have you played
whatever.
it?
I played a little bit of it. Yeah.
How'd you play it?
Don't worry about it.
Wow.
This was years ago. I'm no longer.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe. But the other game had Russell bought for me actually.
The GP Legend.
GP Legend, yeah. Russell bought it for me with the box and everything. I was like, oh fuck, okay. So yeah, I really like.
You were shaking
F-Zero.
your head about Climax.
Climax just.
Is it doo-doo?
There's a reason why F-Zero went dormant for so long.
And it's Climax?
It's not just Climax. It's they didn't know what to do with it.
Climax was after F-Zero X, right? All 3 of them were.
They were all after F-Zero. The last 2 Game Boy Advance F-Zero games were after GX.
We're after GX.
Yeah.
Okay.
So F-Zero games came out.
Yeah.
It's just like.
What about the arcade one?
AX? That came out at the same time as GX.
Okay, that's right, because they had the memory card.
Yeah, they're the same game. AX is actually on the
right.
disc for GX. You have to unlock it with some Game Shark bullshit.
Interesting.
But it's there, and all those tracks are unlockable. There's like 6 tracks in that game, but they're unlockable as their own cup in GX. Though they're designed a little differently because controlling the game with the steering wheel is much different than controlling it with a fucking analog stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we're getting any F-Zero shit now in like F-Zero 99, which is still getting updates.
Still good.
Is great. Is actually really great. Because that means that it's at least in the minds of people. So when inevitably we get a new one, if we get a new one, I'm saying inevitably, let me back that up. If we get a new one, people won't be so in the dark like, oh, that's the guy from Smash Brothers. It'll be more like, oh, this is a 3D version of that game that I played for free when I had my fucking Switch online subscription.
Yeah.
So they did fuck themselves because if a new game comes out and it doesn't have like decent online multiplayer, oops.
F-Zero 99 is a good thing.
Yeah, F-Zero 99 rules. And there's the classic tracks and now there's mirrored tracks. There's hidden tracks that show up.
The hidden remix tracks are wild.
Yeah, those show up and you're like, oh, fuck, oops.
That game is very. It's still fun too. Like I'll go on there, and even though you'd think like, oh, it's died down, it's only like neckbeards that are no lifing it all the time. Yeah. It's actually still fun. I can still get like top 10 in a lot of cases. Like it's still very playable.
You can
I have to let go of winning. Like that's probably never gonna happen.
Yeah,
and that's fine. Okay. Like it's probably more like F-Zero that way, which I think we talked about at one point.
Yeah, original like the standard F-Zero games especially are actually you don't have to win every race. Yeah. A lot of them, it's about points. So you just do what you need to do. And sometimes that means killing the other racers or, destroying the other racers' machines, making them retire. But yeah, F-Zero 99 still fucking rules and it still is there. You should play it. Then, Mario, we already talked about the Mario Tennis shit. Then I bought a bunch of fucking video games.
Yeah.
For the last however long that I don't have fucking time to
Let's talk
play.
about this because this is a rare thing for you to go on a buying spree.
Okay, yeah, I went fucking crazy. So let's work in reverse.
All right.
After saying that I wasn't going to buy Princess Peach Showtime, I bought Princess Peach Showtime. Finding out it was directed by the person that directed Mystical Ninja starring Goemon on the N64. That was the last game he had directed.
I don't think we've talked about that yet. I don't know if we
talked about that.
Because it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has been 2 weeks. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this game. I've already spending a bunch of money because just some shit going on and the tax refund's actually gonna give me that money back. So
love getting my money back.
Yeah. So I played it. I started playing it.
You started it?
I started playing it.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I think
I played the demo.
that demo doesn't show you the more interesting things that the game has going for it.
I imagine that's probably the case.
Yeah, like that first sword fighter level, all the first levels you do with the costumes are like training mode. Because then they give you more stuff to do, more levels with them and shit like that.
Oh, they actually give you more stuff to do?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And sometimes you go down and you rescue the original actor that was supposed to be in that costume.
Oh, that's funny.
And like the sword fighter thing, you have the spoilers, whatever, who cares.
I will say, just my first impressions playing the demo is like,
yeah,
it's a 2-button game that almost treats itself as an action game. So I was like, it's a very Kirby-ified type of game.
Yep. Yeah.
Which like I haven't played or bought a Kirby game in a while, just because like.
Well, the studio that made
I've grown out of it.
Made Epic Yarn. So
made what?
Epic Yarn. So they've made a Kirby game before.
I don't think I played Epic Yarn.
Yeah. Epic Yarn put me to sleep. That's why I was kind of afraid for this one.
Yeah.
Like
did they also do Yoshi's?
They did
Crafting World?
both Yoshi games.
Okay.
Yeah, both recent Yoshi games.
So that tracks. Yeah, they're the studio that makes the slightly easier, more approachable games. The
sleepy, easy,
comfy games, as people like to qualify these days.
And I thought this Peach game was going to be like sleepy, baby, easy, but it's much less baby than I anticipated.
Interesting.
It's still baby, but it's quite a bit less baby than I anticipated. I almost died once. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
That's funny.
But yeah,
I did see some complaints that are going to make you laugh because they made me laugh.
Oh, I'm interested in hearing
the biggest complaints I've seen on a number of different sources of social media. Are that the game is too punishing for people that want to 100% it. And here are the things that they didn't like about it.
I think I know what's coming because I can imagine what it is.
Yeah, so one of the things is as soon as you go into the next room, you can never go back.
Yep, you can't go back. Correct.
Like, because no way to replay levels.
Because you have to... Wait, what do you mean?
Or maybe I misunderstood what
I think you misunderstood. Like, when you're in a level, if you miss something in a room before it, you can't go back to it. Mainly because... Well, the
levels aren't that long, though.
The levels aren't very long, one, and two, it's treating it like you're on a set. Yeah. So you're walking across the same stage multiple times, but they are clearing the set, so the set's gone. Like, that's kind of cool. That
kind of makes sense. The other thing that they mentioned is something about like cutscenes being unskippable, or like certain things being unskippable, and it made it like really brutal to go back and replay things, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't replayed anything, so I wonder if I'm gonna get frustrated with that. But
I mean, are you gonna 100% it?
I don't know. I don't even know if there's a reward for doing so. I feel like I always have more of the a currency to progress than I ever need.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, if there's something cool about it, it'll at least give me something to go back to if I want to pop the game in. I'm like, oh, let me see these levels again. Let me get that thing that I missed. But honestly,
it's just funny because I feel like the two counter arguments that I thought were interesting. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm playing this with very little context.
Yeah.
One of the things they mentioned is somebody was arguing for the design that they put in because they mentioned something about how because this game is for younger audiences.
Yeah.
And younger audiences do have more time to just go and replay games over and over and over again. It's actually intentional that it's like harder / more annoying / more time consuming to 100%.
Yeah.
Because that harkens back to like when we were kids and we kind of had to do the same thing.
Sort of.
And we had the time to kind of sink into it.
Yeah.
Where it's like playing through the game is quick and easy and you can get the experience if you want it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want 100% it, like you're going to get quote unquote value out of the extra time that it takes
to do it in the first place. Yeah.
Which like for a child, like doing repetitive tasks over and over again actually is like kind of a benefit for a parent. Like
it keeps them busy.
Yeah, it keeps them busy. It's like the iPad strategy.
I was explaining this to somebody with Banjo-Tooie, which kind of edges into not being a kid's game sometimes. But Banjo-Tooie has a lot in there to keep a kid busy. It's literally
it's
a lot
also
of
got Canary Mary, which is impossible for a kid.
Yeah, like don't fucking do that on the 360 either. I think it actually is harder there because the frame rate is
definitely harder.
It
registers more inputs.
Yeah, it's asking.
Amount of time.
It can pull you faster. So
bullshit.
I cheated when I played the Xbox. I used a turbo. the turbo
Good.
button on my
Good. Fuck
stick.
that shit.
Yeah. So I think playing the fucking Peach game like a fucking gamer would is gonna make you.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. It's very clearly not made for that. It's gamey, sure, but it's honestly more like cool. Peach is doing cool things.
Yeah, enjoy fun, cool things with a simple 2-button thing.
Yeah,
and let's have some fun with different kinds of ideas.
Exactly, and some of the ideas are cool, like doing the thief. Like Thief has grapple hooks in platformers are good shit. They give Peach a fucking grapple hook, and you get a full level of just kind of swinging around and things like that. That's hype. The little detective thing where you have to kind of solve a mystery. It's cool because they you have this little like intuition button while there's text boxes up. You can kind of be like, oh, I figured it out, kind of thing. But if you get it wrong, you lose health.
Oh, that's funny.
You take a hit.
Oh,
you're like,
funny.
oh shit, that's kind of cool. So it's not like there's only the one thing that
and
has
the
intuition.
She probably would lose health if she was on fucking stage and got the wrong.
Got it wrong,
thing.
yeah. Like fuck the show up.
It's like, oh shit, like that feels painful.
Yeah. So I think
that's not bad. That's not bad. Were there any How far are you?
I don't know.
How many costumes have you gone through?
I'm at the third floor.
The third one?
Like there's four. There's
third floor.
Levels,
third floor. Okay.
Up to the second floor. 4 levels up to the third floor. There's 4 levels. I haven't done all of them yet.
So you've done like somewhere like 10-ish?
I guess so, yeah.
Are there any that have been like really boring?
Really boring?
Yeah.
Gonna be honest with you, not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really. Because
that's pretty good.
None of them are very long. They're not long enough to get boring.
I see.
You just kind of you do the thing and the thing ends.
But none of them have like super uninteresting mechanics where it's just like, oh well, this could have just been the sword fighter, or this could have just been whatever.
I think Mighty almost reaches into that, but it repairs itself.
What is Mighty?
Mighty, she's a hero. She's like a superhero.
Oh, okay, got it.
But it jumps, it sidesteps that because then it's like you're a sword fighter with super strength, so you stun things and you pick up fucking UFOs.
Oh, that's funny.
And trucks and shit, and just launch them at the other enemies that are on the screen. You're like, oh, that was okay. That was cool. And then you would think the baking stuff would be uninteresting, but no, the doing the baking stuff is like playing a long form. Well, it's like playing a long form Mario Party.
Oh, that's actually probably a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
so they're all like long form Mario Party.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, you know, you build it, you make the cupcake and they turn into cookies, and you get this big like fanfare, just these big blasts of cookies behind Peach, and then you put them on a tray, and
all right,
it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
Okay, this is fun. I can get through this and be done with it.
Yeah, good diversity, good length.
Yeah, it's very squarely a 7 out of 10 game if that's how you think of stuff. You know, think of like games.
I think that's part of it is the audience.
Yeah.
It's like we're people that have been exposed to and appreciate lots of different kinds of games.
Yeah.
For a child, it's probably more than a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
like, based on what you're saying. It's probably like cool. It's probably a lot of different things you can do. It's not too complex. Good length, good variety.
Like, I think this game would be excellent for my friend's older daughter, actually.
How old is she?
She's 5 now.
Okay.
She's I think she's just at the age where the controls will make enough sense to her, but the game isn't so easy that it feels like she's being like the game's being patronizing.
That sounds right. That sounds right. I mean, when I was 5, I got fucking Rayman for PS1.
Oh, that's brutal.
Actually, no, I was 6. Situation. I was 6. I lied.
It doesn't matter what age you were. It's hard as shit anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I made it past the second world, the music world.
Yeah.
I remember loving it though.
Nice.
I had no like bad feelings about how hard it was.
Yeah, and when I think of when I was a kid, I realized I didn't finish like every single game I played. Sometimes I didn't finish most games I played. Yeah, I had fun just kind of interacting with something.
And I think that's what Nintendo has a good beat on.
Yeah, I under like for all their all their low desire to push into cinematic experience that a lot of people tend to act like they want. They do remember that their games are playthings, and that actually really helps a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I had somebody ask me, she's been playing through Resident Evil games, and like wondering why she hadn't done so in the first place. And then she kind of realized like when I enjoy a game, it's because it feels good to play.
Right.
And she was like, oh, she was playing the Resident Evil 4 remake. She was like, oh, like everything feels really substantial in this game. I think I get it now. Like everything feels like it has weight and everyone, shooting things, moving. It's like, yeah, the story can be nothing. It could be stupid. It could be great.
Yeah.
It could be anything. If it doesn't feel particularly good to play, then it's a little harder to sell on me, though. There are some exceptions.
It kind of goes back to the arcade mentality too. Where it's like you put in the quarter not expecting to win. You put in the quarter because you like how that 10 minutes is going to feel.
It's going to feel to you. Yeah, exactly. Like even then, it's funny because some arcade games don't feel quite amazing, but they look the part, and you never really stay in them long. Like the Ninja Turtles arcade game, which
everyone has fond memories of.
Attacking enemies in that game feels like you're just waving paper sticks in front of paper.
Yeah, I
signs.
feel like you're just going.
Yeah, and they just kind of move around. But the interaction with that is having the arcade machine specifically is having four like-minded people around you, kids, whatever, just kind of mashing the buttons and seeing all four turtles going crazy on these these Foot Clan members.
I kind of like the idea of a long form Mario Party because that's what I keep going back to in my head.
Yeah. There's some games that try to have longer form mini games, but they don't really they don't pull it off in the same way that Hudson Soft did, especially on the N64 with the Mario Party mini games.
What were you thinking, like Fusion Frenzy?
I'm thinking like I can't even pull it out of my head right now.
Wow. But memory unleaked. Memory clogged.
That is the memory leakage, honestly. So the Peach game, fun. I also bought Prince of Persia Lost Crown.
Yes. I'm getting near the end and I'm sad because it's so tight.
Yeah, I really don't like Ubisoft. But it's going back to talking about demos. They put out a demo of the game and it felt good as fuck.
It also seems like the situation where it was very internally homegrown.
Yeah.
Like they had to pitch it to the leaders or the executives to like actually fund the full game.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Hi-Fi Rush situation.
Hi-Fi Rush, or maybe even like a the fuck game was I thinking of? Almost maybe a Sonic Mania situation.
Oh yeah.
Like not quite that, but there's probably a lot of people on that team that were like, we really like the 2D.
We like this.
We like 2D Prince of Persia.
Things.
We like Prince of Persia. We haven't done anything with it. That remake isn't happening the way we wanted it to of Sands in Time. And Metroid Dread was great.
Are they supposed to be remaking Sands of Time?
Yeah.
Weird.
That remake was supposed to come out years ago, but
I mean, it's not that weird considering that it's like
good.
Very crusty to try and get running on a modern system.
On a modern, yeah.
It can be done. There's guides out there, and I follow them, and now it plays well on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
But the game's weird. Like I forgot how weird Sands of Time just like plays and controls and feels.
It's a very floaty like.
Well, even just the mechanics, like the way that you use moves and like interact with things and like attack is like. It's like it was before modern game conventions, so it's just like it's a weird feeling game.
It might look like Devil May Cry to some people. It's more like playing Batman Arkham Asylum. If
kind
that
of,
one was made out of clouds.
Kind of, yeah. The combat is kind of like that.
Yeah.
But so Prince of Persia, they do cool shit with it.
Yeah.
The pacing is great.
Good.
The pacing of getting upgrades is also great.
Good.
Like the upgrades you get are substantial every single time.
Oh, good shit.
They're like
they really
fundamentally
changed the way you
interact with the world, whether it's something combat related or world traversal related.
Mm-hmm.
Like substantial things on both accord. And they're things that I didn't even like expect because I like the world design is kind of subtle in terms of how certain things like block your progress. It's definitely more subtle than like Metroid does it. Metroid, it's usually quite obvious when you don't have the thing that you need.
Yeah.
And that you need to come back and you're like, oh, this is clearly going to be an upgrade I get. There's not a whole lot of that. And it might sound like frustrating to navigate the world because of that, but it's not because they have a cool accessibility thing to be like, show me where I can go and where I can't go yet. I turned that shit on instantly, and it made my experience much better,
much smoother. Yeah.
Much smoother. Yeah. I think everybody should turn that accessibility feature on, because the world is, I will say, a minor complaint is I think the world is slightly too big.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the map, and like that is pretty fucking big.
It's very fucking big, and it's just big enough that you can kind of feel some friction when you do have to do some backtracking. See, but when you get like the extra traversal things, it's like, oh, I want to go back now and go like collect shit and like, you know, interact.
You were saying it's probably like Symphony of the Night length.
Yeah, that kind of is what it feels like.
To both sides of it, not just the first castle,
right, the whole thing,
the normal castle,
inverted and regular.
Yeah, so I'm saving that game for when I'm ready to fuck up a Metroidvania. Basically.
So I will say my experience playing it too is that I've actually enjoyed playing it a little bit slower.
Piecemeal?
Piecemeal.
Yeah.
Where I'll do like a couple major things at once. Like I'll sink a good several hours into it, and it'll only be like 10% of the game. And so I'll kind of like shelve it for a little bit, and then go do something else, come back to it. It's like, oh yeah, I like how this game feels again.
There's things you can set to like remind you of what you were doing too, right? Like the
memories.
Memories, like
they don't quite remind you what you were doing, but they serve as very helpful reminders if it's like, oh, I can't reach this thing.
Okay.
Probably I'm going to get something later that will help me reach it. And then you can go and look at the map and remind yourself what's there.
What it was in the first place.
It's fantastic and essential for a Metroidvania, and I hope every other Metroidvania has it. Just to be able to go and like take a peek into like what that room looked like, without having to go all the way there.
All the way back to,
That shit is so nice.
Yeah.
I don't like that some of the chests increase like how many of those memories you can have.
Oh,
I get that they wanted to just like gamify everything that they could think of. I would like to see a Metroidvania that almost has like Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 level fast travel, but without the fast travel, just kind of like zoom into the room and show me what it looks like without me having to go and save it proactively.
Like, so you like you can open the map and then
that's what I would like.
Just have the game render the
almost like
spot of the
almost
map.
Like you're going into the character's third eye, and it shows maybe it'll show up with like a filter on it and it shows kind of fuzzy.
And I think honestly with these modern machines, I think like this particular game, especially since it's honestly a Switch game at its core.
Yeah.
If a game is made with lower fidelity in mind, then you have all that room to render it out and fill a map with an actual 3D model of what the game is. So let's say you have a PS5 game that's like this, and ironically the game's on PS5, and you just kind of use the power of the SSD and the RAM to zoom in on a spot on the map, just like zoom out the map and zoom right into it.
That's exactly what I think.
And then just have everything be active in that room.
Yes, that should be the next step. Instead of, because the way the memory activates is you have to be in the room.
Yeah.
And then you press a button wherever you are. You can press it in the air, on the ground, or whatever. Yeah. You press it and it takes like a snapshot.
So it takes a screenshot. Yeah. Basically,
it's like a quick screenshot of where you were in that room, and it stores it on that location on the map.
Yeah.
So you can go and refer back to it. But I think they can go another step further, and it's not going to like harm anything.
Right.
The last thing I want to mention about Prince of Persia is the last 25%. Another thing I didn't expect to be as good as it is the story.
Oh, really? Okay.
The story is like genuinely good. Like the twists, the shit, the way, the meaning of the title.
Cool.
Like,
okay,
is good. It like keeps changing what the title means. I'm like, oh shit, that's tight.
That was the thing I cared about the least. I just kind of expected it to be like, oh, it's go save, go save man. Okay, let's go save man.
But it's like actually good.
Okay.
So I will say there's probably a little too much lore or flavor text that I definitely am skipping.
That's that Ubisoft bullshit.
Like there's a shit ton of like massive walls of flavor text that you never have to read, so it's fine. Some people might love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that it's there if it's
fine.
Optional.
Yeah. Somebody spent a lot of time writing it.
Yeah.
So
and translating it into multiple languages
for them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was necessary. In this game.
Okay.
It would be like if it's even more extensive than like logbook entries in Metroid Prime.
Oh, I was gonna say,
like
I feel
massively more extensive than logbook entries.
I would have liked if Dread actually had like logbook stuff in it.
Logbook stuff works in Prime, I think, because it's not extensive.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
it's like two lines,
little bits
on a thing
of information that I could read through later in to just understand what ZDR is in Metroid Dread, because ZDR is still like a mystery and now it's gone. You know?
Yeah, I do.
So,
well, if you want to know about Mount Koff,
oh, then I can read up on it.
Yeah, you're all set.
Okay, so what else did I buy?
You bought
I
P5
bought Persona 5
Royale.
I hadn't played all the way through Persona 5 by myself, I should say, on a console that I owned. I've seen the whole thing on PS4.
You've seen the whole Persona 5?
I've seen the whole original PS.
Oh shit. Okay, so that's why you got it.
I was going to get it on sale. I wanted to play Royal, and I really wanted to have it on Switch because having RPGs on something that has the option of a handheld mode
Essential.
is almost essential for me to be able to finish it. Even if I never use the handheld mode, just knowing that it's there means that it's more likely that I will play it. What's it called? The game was $25 at Target. I was at Target for something else.
It's a good fucking deal.
I was getting other shit.
That's high value.
Yeah, I was running around getting things that I couldn't get because I didn't have a car for a week.
You can't even get the Cowboy Bebop cosmetics in Overwatch for that much.
Yeah, you can't. You fucking can't. So I grabbed the game. I have not opened it yet. And that's one of my things that I did as a younger adult that I told myself I wasn't going to do anymore. But now I'm kind of at a different point where I used to be, I've mentioned it before. My rule used to be I wouldn't buy a game unless I can start playing it that weekend.
It's a good rule.
It's a good rule, but that also meant that I had this like
you had to sacrifice
longing
deals
for shit for no reason.
Oh, interesting. You still felt that?
I was like, I want the game, but I can't really play it yet. But that would actually cause me to not feel like playing the game that I was already playing.
Right.
Because one of the things I realize I don't like doing is playing something specifically to get it out of the way so I can play something else.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. But on the flip side, another reason I think the rule is good is that if you do buy the game because you know you want it at some point, you almost might like forget about it or not care about it anymore.
Yeah, that's true too. You might
because I've had Persona 5 for like a year now and I've still never gotten to it, and I've never felt like I need to get to it because now I have it, so I can get to it whenever I want. So there's no like urge or impetus to go start it.
And that's how like dopamine works. You know what I mean? Like,
it's wild. The mind works in mysterious ways.
And because I bought it, it's like, oh, I have it, whatever. But really, what I realize about myself is that before it was almost a cost saving measure, where a cost and time saving measure, I should say, where it's like I don't need to buy this game immediately when it comes out because I'm not going to be able to play it. So that saves me, like with this particular game, it's $60 new on like digital storefronts and all that, which is fine, perfectly fine. But I don't need to spend that much because I waited. I waited until 2024, and the game suddenly goes on sale physically. And I like to buy the RPGs physically because when I play them, I don't really play them again.
Yeah.
So I just take them out.
Sell them.
Yeah. But so I feel like I got I'm basically still in the same place, but now I didn't spend $60 to do it. You know what I mean?
It's pretty good.
I have the game. I can play it when I'm ready to play it. Whether that's on the next console or whether that's soon, who knows? Like the Peach game, I actually thought I was just going to hang on to, and I was like, you know what? Let's just fucking crack it open. I know it's like 10 hours long at most.
that one makes sense. So, it just kind of blazed through.
So
P5, would you have bought in Persona 5 if you hadn't been exposed to it before?
If I hadn't been exposed to it before?
Yeah. What was the context that you played it originally?
I
/ watched it.
Have played between watching Jacob play it and another friend play it. Yeah, I've seen the entire game. And I actually had it wishlisted on PC. I was thinking that maybe I was going to get it there to blast through. I thought that's where it was going to go on like deep
but PC
sale.
with no Steam Deck is a no-go for RPGs.
Yeah, I see. I hear you. Well, see, I do have Steam Link, and I can,
that's true. And with RPGs, it's not as you don't need. I
don't need the latency.
Strict latency.
Yeah, exactly. But even then, I've played I've streamed action games on there and done fine. But
I'm pretty surprised Persona 5 runs on Switch. I'm curious to see what that performance is like.
You're the same person. It's a PS3 game.
Okay, but like Royal, they like give layers of isn't it remastered to a degree?
No, it's basically the same shit visually.
All right,
it runs better on PS5 and Xbox Series, of course.
Yeah,
and PC.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just like it's
Fair
a PS5
enough.
game. Whatever, dog. 30 FPS for an RPG like that, perfectly fine. It was designed around that anyway, so. Perfectly fine having it on
here's
Switch.
why I'm skeptical is because apparently the Switch can't fucking run any of the Kingdom Hearts games.
That's not true.
And it makes me mad.
They just don't do it. They just didn't want to make another version based on the PS3 version, which is funny as shit, ironically.
Are there a lot? I feel like there aren't a lot of PS3 games on Switch though. I guess it's got Nier Automata.
There's
Nier Automata is pretty fucking impressive. When you think about it,
but that's not even PS3. That was a fucking PS4 game.
No, I know. I was just thinking about games that really
plenty of Doom is
impressive
on it,
third-party games that are on the Switch.
Doom
is
and
what
Doom
my
Eternal.
brain was thinking about.
Come on, there's plenty of games that run fine on the thing. But of course, like if you're playing Doom Eternal, I played Doom 2016 on Switch, and I was like, yo, I also got it for free. But then I played Doom Eternal on PC because you kind of need the entire keyboard. And you need as much response time as you can, and I also got that for free. But yeah, so next thing, what did I get?
Persona?
No, I already said that we were talking about that.
Peach, Prince of Persia.
Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga Collection.
Yeah.
I had put that off because Xenoblade 3 had come out like a couple of weeks before that did. And I was like, I don't need to double up. I don't need to double up on stuff. Even though the games on the fucking Cowabunga Collection are like half an hour long at most. But
what if you already played through on my couch?
Yeah, I played through Fall of the Foot Clan on your couch because that was the first game I had on a Nintendo, which was my Game Boy. So I played it through before. It's a good comfort I just played it. Yeah, exactly. The game's really short. I also, when I bought the thing, I played through the Turtles arcade game and Fall of the Foot Clan, and then I checked out all the other Game Boy games and messed with Turtles in Time on both arcade and Super Nintendo. But I played the shit out of those games, so I didn't really have a reason to do it again right now. But I'm glad I have that collection. It's it's got a lot more to it than I thought when it comes to the supplementary material. There's comic book covers, there's comic book panels, there's the instruction manuals for every game.
It's got all the Nintendo branding shit, even though it's on Steam.
Yeah, which is funny as shit. But that's the way the Castlevania and the Castlevania collections and the Contra collection were too.
And
just like that.
The Lion King, Aladdin, Disney collection.
Does that have that stuff in there too?
I think so.
Digital Extremes Digital Eclipse made those. So yeah, so I didn't buy that despite I just want Aladdin by itself.
It would be nice if they had just an Aladdin collection because they have so many versions of the Aladdin collection.
Yeah.
They have every little nuanced instance of it. It's very impressive to me.
So I don't like the Jungle Book games, period. I don't like them at all.
That was an add-on on the latest refresh version of it.
Yeah, and the Lion King games...
and I think they know that it sucks because it was like, just throw it in.
Like,
let's just throw on there. our lowest hanging fruit onto this collection.
I think the point of that update really was to have the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin, which is the Capcom game. And
I still have that on my wish list because I don't really. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the Lion King games.
Yeah, I do not care for that Lion King
hard
game.
And shitty and poorly made.
It doesn't feel good. I don't like the little roaring mechanic. Ass. I wish it felt better, but it doesn't.
Both the Capcom and Genesis Aladdin games I like. Yeah. I think they both feel reasonably good. And they both have their merits. Like the Genesis one having the Disney music, the SNES one. And the Genesis, just being a Capcom game skinned as an Aladdin game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tommy Tallarico, I think, is in the credits of the Aladdin game on Genesis. So,
but it's all just fucking Aladdin Disney music. So.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like Tommy Tallarico original tunes.
Yeah. It's like, are any of his tunes original? The game itself, the game itself on Genesis, actually, that game is really creepy, which is funny. It's creepy to me. I think some of the low fidelity, darker areas, especially the prison, is creepy as fuck.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And the when the Cave of Wonders has the lava coming out and you trying to escape, there's something scary about it.
Yeah.
But extending that to the Turtles collection, that has every version of tournament fighters on it, or mutant warriors, depending on what region you're from. And the Genesis version of that game is fucking scary, dude. I rented that as a kid. Yeah, all the turtles look weird and dark. The backgrounds have alien, because you're going around space and shit.
I'm a big fan of a good fucked up
giant aliens, fucking Giger-esque shit. HR Giger Geiger, whatever you pronounce it. I'm just like, why is the game like this? But the Super Nintendo version of that game is better. It plays more like a Street Fighter on Street Fighter 2. But it's great to have just all those games in one place.
Yeah.
And then not worry about it anymore.
Right.
So, but then what else did I buy? I got Final Fantasy VII Remake bought for me on PC, and I've seen the entirety of it before too. Say what?
You've seen the entirety of Remake?
I've seen the entirety of Remake. Yeah.
You saw the last chapter?
I've seen all of it.
Just I've
been
YouTube?
I've been through Remake. Like I wasn't gonna not experience it in some way. It's not like it's not like I sat on my computer and watched it. I watched someone.
How did you play it?
Huh?
How did you play it?
I have many friends, dog.
I'm so confused. Where did you experience the final chapter? I have to know.
Don't worry about it.
I have to know.
Don't worry about it.
You gotta leak it.
Did
you just watch it on YouTube?
No, I didn't.
Did you actually play it?
I what's it called? I have friends from ZeniMax that you've never met.
Oh, you went to like their place? And they had it?
And they play shit like that, yeah.
And you just chapter selected?
Not chapter selected, but they were playing it. Just like, I don't have a PS4.
Oh, so you
and I didn't know that was coming out on PS5. Yeah,
so you secondhand experienced
the big secondhand. Yeah.
Okay.
But now I have it in my hands to do it all.
The last chapter and the last fight are really fucking tight. The music is fucking one of the best versions of that track.
That was loud. I'm excited to run through it on this quote unquote new PC that I have that can deal with.
Yes, now that you have a proper graphics card.
But it's pretty comfortable game to just go through.
Oh, it is for sure.
So I'm just like, all right, I can kind of dick around with this.
Richard kind of poop socked remake and the original
and the original game. Yeah,
Rebirth is not really a game you want to do that with though.
Everyone I know fucking poop socked Resident Evil, Final Fantasy VII.
The original?
Yeah, I did. I remember I told you when
you beat it in like a weekend.
Unemployed, I beat it in like 3 days.
But that's never done that with 7.
Oh, okay. So
but it's because I played the original version of 7 with no like.
So did I.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I guess you did too.
So
I don't think I could sit through the random fights.
I specifically was like, I want to play it as it is, so I have the PS1
That's impressive
to do that with.
I don't think I've ever sat through the original version of 7 that way.
Interesting.
I think I've always beaten it either on an emulator with speed up or with the cheats with speed up. I've never played through the game the native way. Did you do all the side stuff?
I did.
Did you beat the weapons?
I beat all the weapons. Those were actually pretty easy.
If you know the strategies.
Yeah, I didn't.
They're impressive if you don't. You'll just get instantly wiped.
I think because of the way I was playing those games, I was fucked up. That was a time where I was fucked up. People were like dying left and right. So I was just kind of just playing, and that's probably why.
Yeah, just like something to sink your mind into.
Yeah, because I got fucking Ultima for everybody in Final Fantasy VI during that time too, and I was just like, I just fucking grind. I think I've told you I was playing it on Richard's SNES Mini, the classic console, and I had taken the thing to Wee's house, and we had another TV set up while he was doing something, and I just grinded.
Did he ever confirm if he could get your save off of it? Because that would be cool to just have.
It would be cool to have. I think I can deal without having it, but
yeah.
And then Super Mario RPG, I played it on that thing too. It was like I played Final Fantasy VI, Mario RPG, Final Fantasy VII. And
fun fact, I've only beaten like 3 Final Fantasy games. No, it's actually like 5.
Yeah, you probably
because there's modern. The modern ones are much more.
Do you count any of the tactics games or anything? Or
I've beaten the first tactics game. Okay. All right, let me count them. I've beaten 4. I think I beat 1 and 2 on Dawn of Souls.
Okay.
Actually, so it's longer than I thought.
Okay, 1 and 2.
I beat 1, 2, 4,
6,
7,
16,
13, 15, and 16.
15 and 16. Okay.
And then tactics.
Have you beaten any of the other 13 games?
I beat all 3 13 games.
So that
was recent
3.
though.
That's
I hadn't beaten those until about a month ago.
Yeah, you can make 13 into 3. Did you play Final Fantasy X2?
No, I haven't played. I haven't even played 10 or 10-2.
Interesting.
I haven't even touched them.
My friend and I used to play 10 a lot because it had come out on PS2.
I can tell you exactly where I stop in each of these games. 3, it's about 4 hours in.
You don't need to tell us how.
3 is boring as shit.
You don't need to tell us where you stopped in all those games.
I know. I'm getting a little.
Yes, unnecessary. But
getting wound up.
Did you play the after years of Final Fantasy?
I always get stuck on the after years because of the shitty episodic nature of the game, intending to be played multiple times through with the final dungeons. They wanted to create Grindfest that would tide people over between the episodes coming out.
Do you remember?
And it really hurts the game design.
Yeah. Do you remember how those games were released originally?
Yeah, episodically as like $4 packs on WiiWare.
Yeah, they were weird.
I had them.
Weird Wii
I had like 3
games,
of them, and then I forgot that they existed, and I never ended up completing it.
What a weird fucking idea.
Yeah, the whole thing is weird. After Years is weird. It's weird that they exist in different flavors and fashions in every single way that they release. They have a 3D version on Steam in the style of the remake. They have a complete collection version that has an interlude mission that like bridges the gap between 4 and After Years on the PSP complete collection.
Yeah.
They've got the WiiWare version where it's all truly episodic.
Yeah.
So like they've got fucking multiple different flavors of this game
existing.
Did
it come out on mobile too?
It came out on mobile. I guess that's the fourth way is just like just the WiiWare collection as its own standalone thing, not remade or not packaged with anything else.
Yeah. Funny.
Final Fantasy IV is fucked up. They'd probably need like a definitive. I mean, the complete collection was supposed to be definitive.
Yeah.
But like the interlude is fucking sucks,
and I'm guessing the Pixel remaster does not include any of that shit.
No, the Pixel remaster is just 4. Which is the way it should be.
Yeah, I bet so. Let's just forget about it.
You really don't need any of that shit. It's very like Advent Children-esque. It's very compilation of Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah. Okay. What the fuck else did I buy? What did I buy that I don't need?
Did you buy anything else?
I don't
remember you saying anything else.
Oh, I bought both I bought the 999 games.
Oh yeah.
I haven't gotten
Zero
to touch
time?
those yet. Yeah. I'm kind of upset that I haven't gotten to touch those yet. But not upset, but I like want to, but I'm a sleepy dude when I get home.
Yeah, so. And those seem like sleepy games.
So
I don't know anything about them.
Those are cool. It was like $8 to get all of them. So I was like, okay, fuck yeah. Tekken 7. Did I already talk about Tekken 7?
I don't think so.
Bought Tekken 7. Tekken 7, Tekken 8. I bought Tekken 8.
Tate.
I am bad at Tekken. I'm not bad in the way like I don't know how to play at all. I'm bad like advanced players will just mop the floor with me, but I can deal with people that are like playing the game casually. We'll see how much I want to invest in it over time. I think the game's a lot of fun. I think it's I've had to accept that Tekken's kind of a lot of bullshit. The nature of the game design is a lot of things that feel like bullshit when you get hit by them, and there's a lot of knowledge checks. You have to, if you don't already know something, especially if you haven't been playing Tekken for 20, 30 years, then you'll kind of get blindsided by something and not know how to deal with it. Like, oh, it's a low, so you just crouch block it or you parry it, fine. But there's things that are more complicated than that. Like the string is a high-low, low-high. And if you miss if you miss blocking this one particular part of it, you're gonna get launched and you're gonna lose half your fucking health, and that sucks. But look, game looks great, runs great, sounds great. The controls are as responsive as you can ask for from a game of its type, and there's a lot of things to just interact with, like costume creation, stuff like that. So if you get invested in Tekken especially, I think this is a really good spot to jump in if you've never played him before. I'm not a Tekken pro or anything, so I can't speak to that, but I can say that I've had a lot of fun with it, though. It's an expensive game.
I'm glad that the game is good. I'm glad that Tekken is a return to form.
I mean, Tekken 7 was fine.
I heard 7 was good.
It's kind of empty when it came out originally.
Was 6 just trash?
I don't like 6. 6 feels...
Was 5 trash?
No, 5 was great. 5 is what like why modern Tekken still exists, really.
Oh, okay.
Like 5 was 5 fixed everything that was wrong with 4. Though 5 did do a thing where it kind of introduced a lot more silliness than there used to be, at least in my opinion. So there's a lot of silliness in Tekken where there used to be a lot of mystery. And
like in the story?
Like in it having a story that they kind of tell you in the way the characters act and things like that. I kind of appreciated that each character was just a martial arts style. And you could kind of not guess, but you kind of had to like
You can
imagine their
imprint
stories
a
from the
backstory
little
onto them.
Yeah, with what little bit they told you outside
Yeah.
of Kazuya and the other Mishimas that they're throwing into the volcano, and then
Yeah.
kid throwing other kid in the volcano, and then like 3 had some crazy shit where they had to fight ogre, like this big beast man from like the Aztec beast man, but that doesn't really show up very much in the gameplay. It's just something that's implied,
Right,
and then there's these crazy 2 characters that show up as an end boss, and it doesn't really get in the way of like the martial arts
Yeah.
experience that the game seems to be. But in Tekken 7 and 8 especially, they have story modes, and those story modes are just goofy as fuck. Like the one in Tekken 8 especially is like fucking, it's anime Power Rangers bullshit. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Don't y'all didn't need to do that.
I feel like all fighting games are kind of doing that now.
Yeah.
Of like
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat for
up.
sure.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1. It is what it is. I think fighting games are just asking too much of people these days.
Well, people ask a lot of fighting games is the thing, because
it's like paradoxical though.
Yeah.
Because people want fighting games to be this like hype thing.
Yeah.
That you can like get into, but then when they're getting into that, it means that they can't also play like Fortnite or the Battle Royale hero shooter that they bought the Battle Pass for.
Right. Like if you want to get into fighting games, you have to kind of make it your life, and I cannot.
But that's
do that
true
shit
of like
anymore.
almost every multiplayer.
Competitive.
I said fighting games. I think every multiplayer game asks too much of people these days.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Like, okay. In all fair, I think in team games, at least you have somebody else that can tell you what to do.
That's
in
true.
Fighting games,
it's just
people
you.
say you need to get beat up a lot, and only certain kinds of people can take that, because a lot of fighting games you play them and you're not very good, especially at the start. If the game isn't like fun inherently to you, then you are not going to get to play.
Right.
Like you will queue up, you will wait for however long for it to find a match for you. You'll get into that match, you'll press 2 buttons, and because you pressed a button, you open yourself up, you don't get to play.
Yeah.
You're going to get mixed up constantly, and you're going to wonder what the fuck happened. And there's replay tools that let you know, like, oh, you could have punished this, or oh, you could have crouched this. But I will, people like me who don't actually like need that as much as people that are newer than I am, I'm going to go check that stuff. But the people that really need it, they might not be bothered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When that's unfortunate, because there's a way to learn how to play the game within the game, within a lot of fighting games now. But to ask somebody to sit there and read, or sit there and study, or sit there and,
exactly.
Essentially watch film, quote unquote, of their own gameplay, and have the game tell you fucked up here, you could have done this. It's like,
when you look at the sheer volume of like different kinds of games and high quality games, indie games, big budget games, different, different things. It's like it's different world than when Street Fighter 2 and 3 were out, and there weren't a lot of options.
Yeah.
You also didn't have the tools as readily available, but people I think had more time, even sort of like older like gamers, just because there weren't as many games, you know what I mean?
And it was a little bit more social back then, because most fighting games are designed, they're still designed as if they're being played in an arcade, because a lot of these are franchises that have been around since then.
Yeah.
And the arcade is where you'd go to, if you didn't know how to, people have said this before, but I think it's a really good way to describe it. Fighting games in an arcade, if you lose, that means you have to spend more money to play.
Yeah.
If you win, you get to stay on the machine. But so you like had to try to understand what you were doing, and that kind of meant watching other people play. But in doing so, you still were you still were just hanging out. You know what I mean? You were watching other people play, sure, and learning from what they were doing. But you weren't. Nowadays, a lot of these games still have mechanics that would be great in an arcade, but you're sitting in your fucking
by yourself.
You're sitting by yourself, just kind of looking at the screen, not playing shit. And if you ask someone online, like, what could I do to improve this? Like, oh, they're asking you to do shit like pull out a notebook and take notes, which I used to do. I don't do that shit anymore. It's weird. I don't have time for that. But they, people who are just trying to play a game don't want to fucking pull out a notebook and keep up with what they've done.
Yeah.
Fortunately, in 2024, you have people making guides and things like that almost the day a game drops with all the frame information, and sometimes that information is all in the game itself. So the notes are taken for you, but you need to be able to parse them, and parsing them means knowing the lingo, knowing the fucking lexicon. It's a lot to ask when sometimes people just want to press some buttons, but then you get people that mash buttons because it's fun and they get called mashers, and then it's like, that's toxic, motherfucker. Don't call them that. Just let them play the game, dude.
Masher.
Yeah.
I have a funny story about that kind of thing. When Super Smash Brothers Brawl was not yet out in the US, people had frame data on all of the new characters.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked it up and I memorized the frame data for King DDD. And I knew exactly essentially what was safe and what I could use to punish.
Yeah.
And I won a local tournament for launch day with DDD just because I already knew how to play the character.
Researched, yeah. That's funny as shit. That's fucked up, but that's funny as shit.
I used knowledge to beat my enemies.
Yeah. I beat you with not yeah, that was like Street Fighter 4. I played when that game came out, I played in a tournament at a fucking GameStop. And nobody knew how to deal with focus attack yet, so I just did it over and over and over again. I didn't win the whole thing, but I did okay because
pretty funny.
People would just keep getting up into the focus attack and they're like, what do I do? It's like I couldn't give them an answer, like, I don't know. But you can't block it, so
that's very funny.
If for context, focus attack doesn't it's unblockable. It breaks guard and it crumples the other player. So you can just do, they fall to the ground, or you do whatever combo you want to them. Of course, we didn't have very good anything at that point because the game had just come out. But so yeah, did I buy anything else?
I feel like that was it.
I almost bought Dragon Quest V, but I still didn't do that.
No, you got time on that one.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Why haven't the Dragon Quest games that are on mobile come to the Switch yet?
1, 2, and 3 are on Switch.
I know, but where are the rest?
Where are 4, 5, and 6?
Yes,
and
exactly.
7? Switch, why haven't any of them come out on everything? Those motherfuckers should be on everything.
Same with Chrono Trigger.
People need to be playing Dragon Quest 3. People need to be playing Chrono Trigger.
The fact there's no Chrono Trigger makes even less sense because there's a Steam version.
There's a Steam version that they fixed.
Yeah,
they have it.
Like Steam doesn't have any of the Dragon Quest, so like maybe they really did make a strictly mobile whatever with the iOS toolkit. But they have a Steam version of Chrono Trigger that works really well on Steam Deck and whatever Steam machine you want to play on. So it's like, how is that not easily portable into other consoles?
And easily or otherwise, why haven't they done it yet? Probably have to deal with Bird Studio, but it's kind of fucked that Akira. Like, this is the perfect time.
Yeah, I know.
This is the perfect time. Just
on Akira's legacy.
Give everybody the Akira Toriyama stuff because that's it. We're after Sandland. I think that's it.
Yeah, that was his last project.
Yeah. So.
All
right.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was
any fan stories. Any higher fans?
Any higher fans? I see. I didn't even think about that for this one. No, not really. I mean, okay. Some people tried to made another fork of Yuzu called Suyu, and it already got taken down.
Don't see that.
Yeah, don't hire those motherfuckers. That's weird.
No Suyu devs.
Yeah, it's corny.
Is it called Suyu because like they think Nintendo's gonna sue you?
SUE space YOU is what the joke is, but it's spelled SUYU. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well, they got what they asked for.
Yep. All right.
Your homework's gonna be to find a real higher fans for next time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do it.
All right. Well. Good shit. Thank you for joining us on our grab bag today.
Grab bag.
No real theme, just
grab bag.
Shooting the shit.
Grab bag.
Spitting the sauce.
Okay.
That's not a real phrase. Anyway, if you like this and you like what we do, give us a like, a comment, subscribe. Hit us up on our email, memoryleaguepodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, or YouTube channel. The re-uploads are there. So, let us know what you think.
Re-uploads.
And
they come out day and date, bro. Remember that.
We're going to upload and re-upload.
We do need to upload the old shit, but okay. We'll say that for next time.
Until next time. Later.
Later.